Sample problem number 1. Given the following displacement vectors, vector A, displacement vector A, 1 meter, 20 degrees from the positive x-axis, vector B, 2 meters, 30 degrees from the positive y-axis, vector C, 3 meters, 45 degrees from the positive y-axis. Find the components of vectors A, B, and C. So how can we do this one? So first, you have to draw the orientation of your vector. So we have to make sure that so we can add kanang makita natin yung vectors natin in a xy axis. Okay, so xy axis. So can I change this one first because it's not that good. Okay, so here, so straight line, so this is your y, x of course, then 20 degrees from the positive y-axis. So your a, suppose a, may a tayo na 1 meter. Okay, so it's too much. A tayo na 1 meter, that is 20 degrees from the positive y-axis. So this is your vector A. Then your B is 30 degrees from the positive y-axis. So from the positive y-axis, dito siya, then 30 degrees. So parang ganyan siya. Okay, so it's too much, I think. So can I put it like that one? So this is like your 30 degrees from the positive y-axis. So this is vector B and then vector A. How about letter C? Vector C, I mean. So vector C is 45 degrees from the positive y-axis. So dito siya, same sa B, pero positive y-axis, pero yung orientation niya is 45 degrees. So ganun. Okay, yung theta C natin. So we have to find the components of vectors A, B, and C. Now for vector A, so first vector A tayo muna. Vector A. So we have here, since we are in a two-dimensional system, so we can represent your A in terms of components, AXI hat plus AYJ hat. So sinabi niya sa letter A natin is components of vectors A. So how can you find the components? So you have to take note first that dapat yung angle natin is conventional, meaning from the positive x-axis siya nag-start. So here sa vector A, nag-start siya sa from positive x-axis. So therefore, we can use directly our formula, di ba? Your formula is AX is equal to the magnitude of A, tapos si sine theta, I know, that is cosine theta. Wait, so cosine theta here, tapos your AY is equal to A sine theta, diba? So ito yung formula natin. So what is your what is the magnitude of your A? So that is 1 meter, and then your theta is 20 degrees. So we just have to substitute. So the magnitude of A is 1 meter, tapos yung orientation niya or yung angle is 20 degrees. So this is your AX. Tapos your AY, same lang din, we have 1 meter sine of 20 degrees. So ganon. So what is your AX and AY? So your AX, so AX can be written as, so cosine of 20 times 1. So please make sure that your calculator is in degree mode. Okay, so deg mode. So that is approximately 0.940 meters. So you can check naman in your calculator if you have one sa inyong tapad. So your AY is 1 meter times sine 20. So sine 20 times 1 is approximately equal to 0.342. So ganun lang. Meter. So do not forget the unit meter. So yeah, ganun lang kadali yung pagkuha ng components. Okay? So how about for vector B? So for vector B kasi, nagsa-start yung angle mo sa y-axis. So meaning, hindi siya conventional. So to convert this one to a conventional angle, so what you're going to do is, you have to start from the positive x-axis, tapos you have to point it where the B is directed. So here, from positive x-axis, tapos I will point it sa vector B. So ano yung ilan yung kulang sa vector B? I mean sa angle ng vector B para maging conventional siya. So it is equal to 90 degrees. So kulang siya ng 90 degrees. So therefore, our new theta for B is equal to 30 degrees plus 90 degrees. Okay, so that is equal to 120 degrees. So yeah, so can I put this A para ma-specify na ito ay angle ni A? So, okay, so now we can use the formula given sa inyong lecture presentation. So, Bx is equal to the magnitude of B, tapos cosine of theta B. So, next, si By is equal to, first we will solve sa si Bx. So, Bx is, what is the magnitude of B? So, that is 2 meters. Tapos, yung theta B is 120. So, cosine of 120 degrees. So, how much is this one? So, cosine of 120 times 2, that is negative 1. So, negative 1 meter yung Bx. How about your By? Excuse me. So your By is the magnitude 2 meters tapos yung sine of 120 degrees, that is equal to how much is that? Tapos times 2, that is 1.73 approximately. So we have 1.73 meters. Okay? So ganun lang. So that these are the components of vector B. So how about your vector C? So vector C is oriented at 45 degrees from the positive y-axis. Pero this one, again, this is not a conventional angle. So what you're going to do is you have to start from the positive x-axis, tapos ipo-point mo kung saan nag-direct yung vector mo. So here, ilan yung missing sa 45 degrees na yon para maging conventional? So that is still 90 degrees. So therefore, your theta C, so lagay ko theta C dito, 45 degrees plus the 90 degrees. So how much is that? So that is 135 degrees. So ito. And then, pagkatapos is you can get the components by sa formula na sinulat ko sa lecture presentation nyo. So we have Cx is equal to the magnitude of C, tapos cosine theta of C, then your Cy could be equal to the magnitude of C sine theta of C. Okay, so let's do this. So your Cx, so what is the magnitude of C, man? So that is equal to 3 meters. So you just have to substitute 3 meters here. Tapos your cosine of theta c is cosine of 135 degrees. Same lang din sa cy, so the magnitude of c is 3 meters. Tapos yung sine of theta c is sine 135 degrees. So substitute, simplify, so 3 times cosine of 135, so that is negative 2. So negative 2.12 meters. Tapos yung cy mo is 3 sine of 135, that is equal to 2.12 meters. Okay? So if you will check it kung tama ba yung sign ng components nyo sa quadrant, so as you can see, your A is quadrant 1, so meaning that AX and AY must be positive. So positive sila lahat, correct? Then your B is in a quadrant 2, so dapat negative yung X, correct? Positive yung Y. Same lang din ni vector C, quadrant 2, negative si X, pero positive naman si Y. Okay, so that's it. That's the component of vectors A, B, and C. So next, letter B, express vectors A, B, and C in terms of unit vectors. Okay, so alam nyo na yan. So, i-express natin yung vectors A, B, at C in terms of unit vectors. So remember, A is equal to AX I hat plus AY J hat. So walang K hat kasi 2D lang, two-dimensional lang yung vectors natin. So AX is 0.94, so you just have to substitute it here. 940 meters I hat. So ganun lang. And your AY is 0.342 meters J hat. Then that's how you express vectors in terms of unit vectors. How about yung vector B mo? So B is same lang din, BX, then I hat, plus BY J hat. So magkano yung, magkano yung B? X, so that is negative 1 meter yung BX, I hat, plus, how about your 1.73, so 1.73 meters J hat. Or you can write this one as 1 meter negative I hat plus 1.73 meter J hat. So ang meaning ng negative I hat, meaning that it is in the negative x-axis. So meaning yung BX mo is along in the negative x-axis. Okay? So same lang man din yan. How about your C? So C is equal to CX I hat plus CY J hat. Then you just have to substitute the value of C. So negative 2.12 meters I hat plus 2.12 meters J hat. Or you can rewrite this one same sa B as 2.12 meter negative I hat plus 2.12 meters J hat. Okay, so ganun lang. So that's how you do that's how you express vectors in terms of unit vectors. Okay, so punta tayo sa letter C. So letter C problem states that find A plus B and B plus A using component method. So you have to get the vector sum, then compare your answers, the magnitude and direction. Okay? So component lang ang yung gagawin natin. So let's let R to become our A plus B. Okay, sa the vector sum. So since meron ka namang dito, meron ka namang unit vectors, meaning expression ng vector A mo using unit vectors, so you can substitute your vector A. So ito here, so we have 0.940 meters I hat plus 0.342 meters j hat. Okay, ganun lang. And then, meron ka namang B, so which is equal to 1 meter negative I hat. So, ganun lang. Plus 1.73 meters j hat. Okay? So, then you have to simplify. So, dun, say, i-add mo yung number or components nga same ang unit vector. So, you have to add this one. So, 0.940 meters minus 1 meter para maging equal sila ng I hat. So, that is 0.940 minus 1. So, how much is that? So, here, so that is 0.06. So, that is, cancel. So, that's 0. So, 0.06 meters. So, do not forget about the unit. Negative I hat or so negative 0.06 I hat. Ganun lang din. Plus, next is 0.342 plus 1.73. So, 0.342 plus 0.73. Sorry, 0.73. So, that is equal to 2.072 meters tapos j hat. Okay? So, yeah. That's how you do it. So, ito yung resultant vector natin in terms of unit vectors. But how about if we change the order of addition? Okay, so we have again R. So, we can let this one as R1 para hindi tayo malito. And this is your R2. So, we have B plus A. So, your B here is ito yung B nyo. So, this one. So, you just have to substitute it here. So, 1 meter negative I hat plus 1.73 meters j hat. Then, yung A nyo is ito rin. So, change lang yung order ng addition. So, we have 0.940 meters I hat plus 0.342 meters j hat. Same lang din. So, if you add or simplify like unit vectors, so what you are going yung expression nyo ay magiging, so what you're gonna get is this one, 0.06 meters I hat plus 2.072 meters j hat. So, same lang din, meaning that R1 is equal to R2 according to commutative property of addition. So, we have R1 is equal to R2 according to the commutative properties of vectors. Commutative yan. Okay? So, next, sabi niya kasi dito is we have to get the magnitude and direction. So, since same lang naman din sila ng expression using unit vector, so why not put this as like this one? So, the R1 is equal to R2. Ganyan. Then, the magnitude is, you just have to get the square root of Rx squared plus Ry squared. So, they have the same X component. So, they have the same Y component. So, why not put this as Rx squared plus Ry squared. The next, your Rx is 0.06, so or negative 0.06 meters. So that is negative 0.06 meter squared. Tapos yung Ry is 2.072 meter squared. Then taking the square root, so how much is the magnitude of the resultant. So we have So we have 2.072. Okay, so we have 2.072 meters. Okay, so do not forget the unit. How about yung orientation? So let's check the orientation. So theta is the inverse tangent of ry over rx. So yung ry nyo is 2.072, tapos yung rx nyo is negative 0.06. Okay, so we have 2.072 meters, then we have negative 0.06 meters, so we can cancel them out. So we have 2.072 divided by negative 0.06. So the inverse tangent of the so the inverse tangent of the answer is negative 88. So we have negative 88 degrees. So let me double check ha if sakto ba. So the inverse tangent of 2.072, let me double check sa, okay, so standby 2.072 negative 0.06. So yeah, that is negative 88. Now dito tayo magka-problema. So we have to draw first our resultant so that we can know if ever nga negative 88 talaga yung orientation ng angle niya. Okay? So let's see if negative 88 ba. So can I get this one? So yeah, so I will insert some blank page here. Yeah, insert muna ako ng blank page para okay. So vector, okay, so we can approximate the description of your R. Okay, hindi naman ito like accurate kasi wala naman tayong protractor. Okay, so we can just approximate it. So your A is 1 meter 20 degrees. So 1 meter 20 degrees. So ano yan? So saan yun? So 1 meter 20 degrees. So pwede we can start paana. Okay, gamay lang siya. 1 meters 20 degrees. Then from the since you are going to connect A and B, so what you're going to do is you have to make another axis. Okay, mag-connect ka na another axis, and then you can draw the letter B, the vector B, so which is 30 degrees. Okay, 30 degrees from the positive y-axis. So ito yung y-axis niya, ito yung x-axis niya. Okay, so you can see you can now connect A and vector B. So anong resultant? Resultant is from the starting point patungo ni vector B. So ito yung resultant niya. So it's not that accurate. Yeah. So here your vector R is meron siyang negative na x. Is it 30 degrees? Yeah, 30 degrees. So dapat 30 degrees. So baka hindi ito accurate na accurate. Okay, so can I draw another one? So I have to draw another one kasi I think hindi ito nag-represent ng Okay, so 20 degrees, that is correct. 20 degrees. Now 30 degrees is, I think that's too small lang gyapon. Okay, so too small. So 30 degrees kasi siya, so parang ito siya 1 meter tsaka dito si 2 meters. So 1 meter to So 1, okay, so 2 meters kasi siya. Ito 1 meter, ito 2 meters. So we have approximately 30 degrees ito. So you can check naman sa calcu nyo, ay sa bahay nyo if you have a ruler and a protractor. So that is 30 degrees. So your R is pointing from this one patungo dito. So that is your R, A plus B. So ito yung B natin. So that is 30 degrees from the positive y-axis or 120 degrees from conventional. So ito ba negative 88 ba ito? So hindi. So that is not a negative 88 kasi yung negative 88 is dapat nandito dapat si R, di ba? Kaya approximately nandyan si R dapat. That is the negative 88 degrees. Pero that's not the case kasi yung R mo is nandun sa opposite side o nasa quadrant 2. So what you're going to do, you have to report an answer of your theta R by adding 180 degrees. So we have negative 88 degrees plus 180 degrees. So that is equal to, how much is that? Okay, so that is 92 degrees. So meaning that your angle must be 92 degrees and that is in quadrant 2. And that corresponds also to the components sa yung sa yung vectors. As you can see here, your components has negative x component and positive y component, and therefore dapat your R must be in quadrant 2. So to shift that one, so just have to add 180 degrees. So ito yung answer nyo dapat in terms sa angle. Okay, so I will draw something. At hindi ito. Okay? So ito yung magnitude niya at ito yung direction. Okay, yun lang. So that's how you do vectors. So how about letter D? Find A plus B plus C tapos magnitude and direction. Okay, so let's do this. So A plus B plus C, magnitude and direction. So here, nakita naman natin na may na-express na natin yung A, B, at saka ni C in terms of unit vector. So why not let R to become your resultant vector of A plus B plus C. So you just have to substitute the value of A in terms of unit vector. So nasan yung A mo? So we have here 0.940 meters I hat plus 0.342 meters J hat. So I will just put it here. I hat plus 0.342 J hat. Okay. Tapos sunod, how about your B? So your B is 1 meter negative I hat and 1.73 meter J hat. Okay, so 1 meter negative I hat plus 1.73 meter J hat. How about si C mo in terms of unit vectors? So we have here natin dito. So 2.12 meter negative I hat plus 2.12 meter J hat. So we have 2.12 meters negative I hat plus 2.12 meters J hat. Then proceed to addition. So you just have to add all like unit vectors. So we have here I hat. So we have 0.940 minus 1 tapos minus 2.12. So we have negative 2.18. So ito ay negative 2.18 meters I hat. Then how about your J hat? So your J hat is 0.342 plus 1.73 plus 2.12. So we have 4.192 meters J hat. Okay, so meron tayong X component na negative, meron tayong Y component na positive. So therefore, we anticipated our resultant to be in quadrant 2. Okay? So next is we just have to find the magnitude. Okay, so the magnitude is just equal to this one. So rx squared plus ry squared. So what is the x component of your resultant? So that is negative 2.18. Okay, so meter squared. How about your ry? So that is 4.192 meters squared. So square root of that is just equal to, how much is that? So I will just, so square root of the answer. So that is approximately equal to 4.72 meters. So do not forget the unit. Okay, meter. Kay displacement kasi tayo. How about your theta? So theta is inverse tangent of your ry over rx. So ito lang. That is equal to the inverse tangent. Your ry is 4.192 meters divided by negative 2.18 meters. Okay, so I will just cancel the meters here. So we have the inverse tangent of 4.192 divided by the negative 2.18. So that is equal to negative 62. So negative 62 na naman, or 63 degrees approximately kasi 62.5. Okay? So 63 degrees na naman. So this one, na-anticipate mo na yung R mo dapat nandun siya sa quadrant 2. So bakit negative 63? So we have to draw. So your anticipated nga resultant must be in quadrant 2. So ito dapat yung resultant mo. So bakit nandun siya sa negative 63? So approximately nandito siya, gito, negative 63, which is actually not a good representation sa, although correct siya sa calculator mo, pero sa, as you can see sa drawing natin, hindi siya correct. So we have to again add 180 degrees. Okay, so you have to add 180 degrees para ma-shift siya to the correct representation or orientation sa R mo. Okay, so that is 180 minus 63, so that is 117 degrees. So as you can see, 117 degrees is in quadrant 2, so which represent your vector. Okay, so represent your resultant vector. So do not answer this one kasi hindi to nag-represent ng vector mo. Okay, so as you can see here, dapat andun siya sa quadrant 2. Okay, so yeah, so if you want to draw, so okay, so mag-draw tayo. So this is your x and y axis. Okay, so your A is 1 meter, so 20 degrees. And then you have to draw again a axis for B, so which is 30. So 30 is ganito, 2 meter siya, so 30 degrees. And then draw again a vector na sa vector C, draw again in axis sa head sa vector B mo for vector C, which is 45 degrees. So ang layo ng 45 degrees, so parang ganito, 45 degrees, so parang ganito siya. So ang taas niya 45 degrees. So approximate lang ito ha. Tapos this is your vector C, vector B, tapos si vector A mo. So what you're going to do is connect the starting point patungo sa end point mo. So connect. So yeah, so this is your resultant na may magnitude na 4. Okay, so approximately para siyang 4. Tsaka yung angle niya is 117 degrees. So 117 is a correct representation of R. So not negative 63. Kasi negative 63 nandito lang siya. Okay? So you might ask, bakit po i-add na 180 degrees? Kasi they are actually in in a straight line. So you can see there. Okay, so straight line lang siya. So ito yung R mo, tsaka ito yung negative 63 mo, di ba? So you just have to add 180 para ang makuha mo is yung correct representation ni R. So itong 117, ito. Okay, so because they form a straight line na ganyan. Okay, so they are in opposite direction lang. So yun lang, sample problem